Hello everybody and welcome to the EPRL Bass Pro Shops Cup Series Season 8 Race 8 here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. We are at the track that we haven't come to since I believe Season 6. Yes, since Season 6 we have not been here. The last time we were here, Cole Freilich ended up in victory lane. But on the pole for this race is the 9 of Tyler Chance, and alongside him in the 51 is Matthew McMurray. Starting third is John Dillon after leading some laps last week. Led 10 laps at Texas, 26th in points. Starting fourth outside row 2 is Luke Martin. He also led some laps at Texas one race ago. And rounding out your top 5 inside row 3 is the driver that has been on a very, he's been on a streak of very consistent top 3 finishes. The last 4 races, he's finished within the top 3. 2 wins, a second, and a second. Or no, I think it was a third and a second. But either way, Dylan Young has had a very impressive last few races, and it has gotten him up to the 3rd spot in points. Coming into this race, Charles Jackson is your point leader by 25 points over Jeffrey Finge. Then it's 30 points. Well, then 5 points behind Finge is Dylan Young. Then 3 points behind Dylan Young is Joshua Balkin. Then another 3 points back to Sean Galligan. Then 1 point back to Kurt Kozlowski. But then it's another about 20 points to 7. So the first 6 drivers in points are within 37 points. So a pretty tight battle in the points up through the first 6 drivers. But let's get the field going here at Kentucky. We expect this race to be a very good one. Here's the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
This track is usually caution-free, but I expect the exact opposite here tonight. Alright, the field has rolled off. Mitch Speed starts last. But as the field is on their first pace lap, we already went over the first 6 in points. But we have some pretty crazy races coming up for you. The next race is Indianapolis. That's always been a thriller, and it's one of the biggest races of the year. Eddie Jones tends to be very good at that track. He starts 41st for this race. But then the following race is Talladega, and we all know that one's going to be crazy. Race 11. It could be Richmond. You could go back to that Richmond International Raceway for the first time in quite a few seasons. I believe we haven't been there since season 4. So it'd be nice to get back there. Here we go, coming through turns 3 and 4. Tyler Chance is on pole, his first pole of his career. Pace car peels off onto pit lane. We go out of turn number 4. 27 laps of racing, the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky is green. Tyler Chance leads us down. You're going to see the use of the apron on the front stretch a lot in this race, and you saw it right on the start. As they come out of turn number 2 for the first time. Everybody staying somewhat calm here on the first lap. There were some 3 wide moves further back and some contact being made, but we're going to keep clean and green on the first lap, and Tyler Chance is going to lead it at Kentucky. I'll tell you what, Dylan Young, we mentioned it before the race, he's had 4 top 3 finishes in a row. That is incredible, and he looks like he could be well on his way to getting yet another, as he's already worked his way into the 2nd spot after starting 5th. Alright, Tyler Chance leads the first 2 laps of this race, and now, whoa, here comes Dylan Young. That was a bold move. Jumps to the bottom, but the high side momentum is going to prevail for Tyler Chance and maybe even John Dillon. As John's going to, yeah, he gets clear of Dylan Young, so obviously that inside line is not where you want to be. And Tyler returns 3 and 4. Leads his 3rd lap of the first 3 laps of this race, and we have a caution. Oh, Charles Jackson, the point leader, is hard in the wall on the front stretch. David Rochester, Andrew Schwartz, and Dion Scott are in it. But the point leader, Charles Jackson, is torn up, and they're still racing back to the line. These guys have got to get out of there. They're in a very dicey situation as they come out of 4. Tyler Chance wins the race back to the start-finish line, but stay with us here because this could get a little dicey. I think Rochester is just far enough out of the way that everybody will be just fine. And yeah, that's going to be the case. But Charles Jackson has not had one DNF yet this season, but I believe he's going to get his first one here tonight at Kentucky. Maybe not. He might be able to continue, but let's get a replay of what happened to bring out the first caution of the race at Kentucky. Alright, well, here it is. As they came through turns 3 and 4, Charles walked way up the racetrack. He was getting a run, came up on Schwartz, hooked him in the quarter panel, put him into the outside wall pretty hard. Then Evan McLean got into him, spun him back around, hit Dion Scott and David Rochester. Well, all 4 of those drivers took multiple hard hits. As you saw Dion go head on into that outside wall. Alright, here's just one more view. Charles gets into Schwartz, spins off, hits Dion, then Dion gets hit. Oh, I guess Dion didn't go head on into the outside wall, but he backed it in pretty hard. So 4 drivers involved in the first caution of the day at Kentucky. Quite a few torn up race cars. I don't know if any of these guys are going to be out, but I will tell you if any of these guys is going to be out, it without doubt in my mind should be David Rochester. The hood on that car is all torn up, and all 4 of these drivers are without a doubt not going to be in any sort of contention to win this race. They're just going to try to salvage some decent points if anybody else wrecks. Rochester doesn't know where he's going as he almost hit the oh, he did hit that inside wall. Yeah, that hood is crunched up to a point where he can't see. I guess not. Well, oh, this is on the roof. We got to go in the cockpit of this car. Rochester slows down, gets into pit lane, but a torn up 31 Caterpillar Chevrolet might just take him out of this race. So Tyler Chance is your leader at Kentucky. And are these guys taking pit stops? I think they might be. Oh, I guess not. Okay, they seemed a little bit low there in 3 and 4. So let's get you back to the restart. Tyler Chance is your leader in the Quaker State 400. Alright, we're back in to get you the restart here on lap 9 of 27, 1/3 of the way through this event. Tyler Chance is your leader. Second is going to be John Dillon. Third, what a surprise there, Dylan Young. Fourth is Zach Buchanan. Running out your top 5 is Brad Smith. Sixth is Luke Martin. Seventh, Garrett Jones. Eighth, Jeffrey Finge. Ninth, Matthew McMurray. And 10th is Kurt Keselowski. Now, you just saw him in the 8th spot. This could be setting up to be the rebound race for Jeffrey. Jeffrey's had 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s so far this season, and looks to get yet another top 5, maybe even a win to get his season kick-started after he started off very strong, then he kind of faded back a little bit, but looks like he's trying to make a comeback as the world leader coming into this race was Charles Jackson. I don't know if he's out of the race or not. Rochester and Mason Wood. Mason Wood must have had a problem under caution. He had a header issue. But Charles is still in this race. Here we go, coming back down to the start-finish line. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway once again at Kentucky. Tyler Chance leads him back down. Zach Buchanan making a look on Dylan Young for third. Looks like he might just be able to take it away. Well, here comes John Dillon. John to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take the lead away from the driver that has led every lap so far in this race, Tyler Chance. He's going to get some momentum coming out of 4, but will it be enough? Absolutely. Here he comes on the outside. Chance motors right around John Dillon, and he's going to lead the 10th lap of this race. They're slowing. I think we might have another caution. Yeah, we do. Oh, Julie Stewart has backed it into the wall. Oh, a huge crash. Over on his lid is William Duncan. Kyle Smith is in it. Dion Scott. Charles Jackson is in it once again. Jake Smith is wrecked. Jacob Stumpf, Sean Galligan, Hayden Klein is there as well. Jacob Grant is torn up. A huge crash exiting the tri-oval nearing turn 1. That was a scary wreck by all those drivers. Tyler Chance won the race back to the start-finish line. We didn't even know he won it back because we didn't know there was a caution until just after, and we saw him check up. But a massive pile up, the second crash of this race. Remember, this race used to go caution-free both seasons we ran here. That's obviously not the case anymore, as Tyler Chance is your leader, but a big stack up and a flip over by William Duncan brings out the caution for the second time. Alright, here's what happened. Jake Smith just flat out, actually no, Julie Stewart just flat out takes him out, puts him into the outside wall extremely hard. And that was an uncalled for move there by Stewart, and Joshua Balkin, her teammate, gets in it, and Robert Piet is in it. And oh, what a hard hit by Eddie Jones, Jacob Grant, Kyle Smith, Connor Breton is in it. Look at Schwartz run into Richard Johnson. Richard just had a great season. Seth Cole, a driver that doesn't have a top 10 yet this year, was in it. Charles Jackson. My goodness. These guys have not been able to keep their composure so far here at Kentucky, as we've had two big crashes. And this one, a little bit... We got to get another look at this, because that was a little bit of a controversial call by Julie Stewart. Alright, here it is. Stewart just... That doesn't really show much, but we're definitely going to get a few more looks at it, because that didn't look too good. That could be a probation sort of thing for Julie. We've seen a lot of boys and girls have at it these last few races, and ooh, Schwartz was just about to maybe just get some front end damage in that, but really got clobbered by the flipping William Duncan. So the caution is out here for the second time at Kentucky. A lot of torn up race cars, and actually no, we got to get an aerial view of that wreck again. Alright, perhaps this view will show it a little bit better to see if Jake Smith went up the track. Yeah, Jake did, but Julie definitely turned down and just took out the 6. I don't know if there was intent on doing that for Julie, but it definitely looked like it, the way that happened. And then Joshua Balkin hits his teammate. Then Jake Smith spins up, gets into Joshua. Then Breton T-bones the 22, and that's what sends him on his lid. Then Sean Galligan, 5th in points. Joshua Balkin is 4th in points. A lot of the point contenders have really been getting knocked around in this race, and unfortunately, a few of them got in this wreck, and Schwartz gets hit. He runs into Richard Johnson. So a lot of very hard, nasty hits into the wall, into each other, and over on his lid went William Duncan. Brings out the second caution of the race at Kentucky. Let's get you back to the green flag. Alright, well, the lights on the pace car are out, and we're going to get you back racing. Restarting on point will be Tyler Chance. Second will be John Dillon. Third is Zach Buchanan. Fourth is Brad Smith, and I just noticed something. I'll point that out. Fifth is Luke Martin. Sixth, Garrett Jones. Seventh, Matthew McMurray. 8th, Ryan Acosta. 9th, Jeffrey Finge. And 10th is Jordan Polito. Last in points, Polito needs a good run for this. But where did Dylan Young go? He maybe have an electrical problem under caution? And he did. He's right now being scored 15th. But that was the last scoring loop around this racetrack, so Dylan Young must have had a mechanical problem. Yeah, he was scored as 15th position, but obviously, a piston issue. So Dylan Young on a streak of 4 top 3 finishes. He looks to get another one here tonight. That's not going to happen. So an unfortunate break for Dylan Young is going to put him in the garage area, but Tyler Chance is out front. Green flag waves, and we're again underway at Kentucky. Look at John Dillon nearly get into the back of Tyler Chance right off of that restart. All Tyler has got to do is lead him back around to the start-finish line, and he will guarantee he will be guaranteed most laps led in this race, and that'll get him 2 bonus points towards his championship. Every point counts, because right now Tyler is 20th in points as he leads the lap, guaranteed the most laps led in this race. Now John Dillon ducks to the bottom. Garrett Jones, where did he come from? He's getting a big run on John Dillon and nearly gets into the back of him. Now here comes Garrett, crosses over on John Dillon, trying to take away the second spot. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. As we mentioned it all race long, that outside is just too good. You can't make a pass on the inside if you're battling with somebody as strong as Tyler Chance. Getting out of turn number 2, looks like Garrett Jones has fallen back into the hands of Zach Buchanan, but Buchanan has not been able to make a move out of it. And look at Jeffrey Finge. He needs to jump on this opportunity. All the point contenders around him, Charles Jackson, Dylan Young, Joshua Balkin, Sean Galligan have all had problems except for Kurt Keselowski, but Kurt's pretty far back in points to Jeffrey. So this could really be a race where Jeffrey could take away the point lead, pretty much drive away with it, as long as he doesn't make any major mistakes. So this is the first time Tyler Chance has gotten into the lead yet this year, but obviously when he gets out front, he can stay there. As it was noted before the race, I don't know if it was noted before the race or not, Tyler Chance has not led a lap yet this year. He started on the pole and he has not looked back as he saw John Dillon slip a bit in turn 1. Garrett Jones is going to try to pounce on that opportunity. Garrett comes into this race 11th in points. He needs a good run like he's having right now to keep himself alive in this championship hunt as we are nearing the halfway point of the season. Garrett driving that special patriotic paint scheme for this race. I don't think John Dillon is done yet. He has something for Tyler Chance, just hasn't quite been able to show it yet. Well, he's been able to show it, he just hasn't been able to follow it up. He's shown he can get right up alongside Tyler and try to rattle him, and he just hasn't been able to do it yet. They're running out of time, though, because when they come around, it's only going to be 8 laps of racing to go. John Dillon, Garrett Jones, or Zach Buchanan is going to make a move out of it. They've got to make it quick. Unless they can catch a lucky caution. If they can catch a lucky caution, then maybe anybody within the top 5 could still have a legitimate shot at this. But Tyler Chance, without a doubt in my mind, has the fastest car on the racetrack. It's pretty tough to beat the fastest car on the racetrack in a 27-lap race. And as they cross the start-finish line, heading into turn number 1. Oh, John Dillon walks way up the racetrack. This is a good opportunity for Garrett Jones, but that outside momentum, even though that was not something that John wanted to do, at least he got shuffled to the high side just enough where he could still get some momentum coming out of 4, coming out of 2. He's going to get some more momentum coming out of turn 4, and he's going to try to get to the bottom of Tyler Chance. Chance leads, but Dillon is there. Just 6 laps of racing to go. John up on the high side is going to get a little bit more momentum than Tyler. Polito further back is the only side-by-side battle. Looks like he's going to slip in line. Doesn't want to risk wrecking himself again. The outside momentum continuing to help out John Dillon, but he's running out of time. 5 laps to go at Kentucky. Tyler Chance has led all 22 laps so far, and he doesn't plan on looking back. Garrett Jones swings it high in 1 and 2. Trying to get a run, and Julie Stewart, a lapped car. This could be a big factor in this race. And Julie is going to hold up Tyler Chance. Chance trying to get to the bottom, but here comes John Dillon on the outside. But now Julie's going to hold up John. He's got to cross over, and he does it. But Garrett Jones nearly got into the quarter panel of the 3. Tyler Chance holds his lead over John Dillon and Garrett Jones. Now that could have been a lot worse. But luckily for these guys, everybody... Oh, now Jeffrey Finge is getting held up by Julie Stewart. Those 2 drivers have gone after the championship the last few seasons, and obviously Jeffrey is not going to appreciate that from Julie Stewart. Polito was able to pass... well, he's probably going to be the point leader leaving this race, but 3 to go. We keep saying it, they're running out of time, but now they really are pretty much out of time. And that slip right there by John Dillon, I think, just cost him the race. He slipped in 1 and 2, and there's no momentum there when you slip. really walk up the racetrack like that, because there's no grip up there. They come around, it'll be 2 laps of racing to go, and John Dillon has slipped off the back bumper of Tyler Chance. Tyler is looking to win his first race of his career, and it looks like he might just do it at Kentucky. John Dillon, the second winningest driver in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series. I'm not going to count him out just yet because he is coming. Just about a car length and a half separate the leaders. John swings at it in turn 3, gets up the racetrack. Zach Buchanan is pushing the 3. Now John Dillon trying to cross over. Here they come. Last lap at Kentucky. John Dillon all the way to the apron. Side by side with Tyler Chance heading off into turn 1. Tyler's going to get the momentum on the outside. Zach Buchanan trying to get underneath John and get second away. That's not going to happen, but they're running up on the lapped car of Jacob Stump. He may be just quick enough that we're not going to catch him. It's going to be close, but I don't think he's going to be a factor either way. Checkered flag in the air. Tyler Chance is going to win his first Bass Pro Shops Cup Series race at Kentucky. Congratulations, Tyler Chance's first career Bass Pro Shops Cup Series win comes at the Quaker State 400, a action-filled race, and I'll tell you what, John Dillon went down swinging. He tried so hard in turn 1, just wasn't able to make it stick, and Tyler Chance was able to get that outside momentum. John Dillon pretty much couldn't do anything with it from there. But a great effort anyways by John Dillon, and Tyler Chance is going to get the better of him and win this race. So congratulations, Tyler. Oh, Summers gets wrecked after the checkered flag flies. John Dillon second, Zach Buchanan third, fourth was Garrett Jones. Rounding out your top 5 was Brad Smith. Now I think Brad was one of the only drivers that thought a top 10. Or was he? Yeah, he was one driver that did not have a top 10 coming into this race. So there were 5 drivers coming into this race without a top 10 yet this season. Let's see if any of them finally got that. Besides, oh, wait, did Ryan? I don't think Acosta. Wait, no, Acosta did have a top 10. Yeah, Acosta had 1 top 10 and 1 top 5 so far. So Jeffrey Finge, anyways. Oh, there's Apolito. Apolito and Brad Smith are the 2 drivers that didn't have a top 10 coming into this race that finally got that. It took them 8 races, but they're finally there. Apolito is trying to make a comeback in points. We counted him out after Pocono, but now he was only 8 points behind 41st place in points. That was David Rochester, and it looks like Apolito is going to take that spot away from Rochester. So a driver that made the chase last year, David Rochester, wasn't able to do much in the chase and ended up finishing last in the chase standings, but he's having a pretty bad season this year. So Tyler obviously is going to really help. This really is going to help out his points situation. 20th in points, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s coming into this one. Now he has a win to his name. But, that just makes it so much worse for Rochester. So he loses 41st in points. You don't want to even be 41st in points, but he loses that spot and falls to last in points with a last place finish. So there's really no cushion there for Rochester. Mason Woods, 41st. I think that's his second or third finish in the 40s this season. Mason came in this race 40th in points, so that's another spot for Apolito by the looks of it. Sean Galligan deep in the field. He was a point contender. Connor Breton, Jacob Grant, William Duncan, Eddie Jones, sorry. Jake Smith, Joshua Balkin, and Dylan Young were all out of the race. Kyle Smith ended up a lap down, along with Julie Stewart. Jacob Stumpf nearly got lapped, coming to the checkered flag. If there would have been one more lap, we could be saying that John Dillon has now tied Garrett Jones back for the winningest driver. That's what I was going to mention, but then I messed it up when I said Garrett Jones instead of Eddie. So Tyler wins, we've said that like 4 times, but Tyler wins, John Dillon second, third was Zach Buchanan, fourth was Garrett Jones, and fifth was Brad Smith. So those are your top 5 finishing drivers. Brad Smith finished 41st 1 race ago, so it's a good thing that he was able to rebound like he did for this race, ended up 5th. So congratulations, Tyler Chance. Here's the celebration screen, and by the way, a 25-point lead coming into this race for Charles. He rebounded, finished 25th. Jeffrey Finge finished 10th. So your point leader is still Charles Jackson. So A good rebound by Charles keeps him in front of the points, but Tyler Chance goes wire to wire. Didn't lead a single lap coming into this year, but now he has led the second most amount of laps of anybody yet this season. Congratulations to the 9 team. Here's the celebration screen for Tyler Chance.